Test, test. How about now? Okay, there we go. Duh. Yeah. Let me tell you one of the problems with this thing here, right? By the way, this is from your donations, so thank you. See this right here? This is a shock mount, right? And Leslie Lee the third, shout out to Struggle Session. Definitely check out that podcast if you haven't already. Hey, Thomas Prieto, how's it going? And Rich Curran, how you feeling? Jeffrey Miller, Fatima, RJ, how's everyone doing? Yeah, so this is what happened, right? This is a really good mic. Leslie Lee recommended this one too, Samson Q2U. Really good. It's both a USB mic and it's also a regular XLR mic too. It's pretty good. But the only problem with it, the price is right, the quality is right, the lightness is right. It's got an on-off switch, and the on-off switch is kind of annoying. Like I don't really know why any mic needs really an on-off switch. Because what happens is when I put it into the shock mount, I guess putting it in there um accidentally made the off switch hit. So every now and then I end up hitting the off switch on this thing. It's my only uh complain about the mic. It's a minor complaint. It doesn't happen that much, but it's still a little bit annoying when it happens, you know? So how y'all feeling? How's everyone? Yeah, I mean, someone says a design flaw. I mean, maybe. I mean, maybe it depends on what you're using it for too. I mean, but still, like, just the fact that it's on there, I just don't. If it's plugged in, just leave it on. I don't see why it has to have a an on and off switch on it. That's my only complaint. It's a minor one, but I would still recommend it. The price was right. It was like under $60 and usually goes for 120, and it's a pretty solid mic. I like it. I like the versatility of it. That it could be USB or XLR, you know, but yeah. So one thing that's funny is now we stream to Periscope, and streaming to Periscope is kind of weird because it gives you kind of inflated numbers. Like Periscope people seem to like fly in and fly out. I think people get kind of, because it's on Twitter and people see the little thing streaming on the top. I think Periscope's kind of like something where people just go to it. They're just on a whim and then they just bounce back out. You know, I don't feel like people really go to Periscope and really like watch long streams on there on average. Like I feel like Twitch and YouTube's where people really are watching long streams. But I want to know, and if y'all use Facebook Live, because this StreamYard thing gives us an option to stream to Facebook Live too. But I feel like Facebook is one of those dying things, and I haven't figured out if I want to do Facebook Live yet. Yeah, I don't know if anybody really uses. Maybe I get like moms on there and stuff, soccer moms. I feel like they're the only ones that religiously use Facebook, and conservative firefighters and stuff who want to troll on behalf of MAGA. But how's everybody feeling? How's everyone feeling? Yeah, someone said Facebook's for boomers. Maybe we need boomers, man. We need champagne boomers. You know, we gotta get our boomer audience going. I didn't want to stay on too long. I just want to talk about a couple things. Um, One is what is up with y'all's girl, Joy Reid. Joy Reid is bugging out. Joy Reid is crazy, man. Look what Joy Reid did this time. Did y'all see this? Joy Reid follows me, and I don't even I don't even understand why. It's amazing. Hey, Mr. Judo. Hey, under analyzing. How y'all doing? Um, y'all are putting in Twitch, right? Twitch. I like Twitch. I like the crowd on Twitch. It's a cool crowd, but I do not understand the platform at all. I don't understand like the prizes. People give subscriptions. People give like the language, the lingo, the incentive system. I don't really get it, right? So those emojis that you guys are putting on there, are those generic Twitch emojis, or did somebody create them for hey Death God 6Q3, how you feeling? Mr. Judo, you said yes. Yes to which part? That are they generic? Okay. They're really cool. Yeah, I'd like to learn more about them. Rich Curran asked Kushbomb or producer Chris about what? About Twitch? Yeah, I mean, I need to. Like, I like Twitch. Twitch is, we're gonna be using Twitch for Twitch only stuff. Like, probably in this Friday, probably we're going to do that stream of music. Me and Kenny, and maybe I'll see if Toomey wants to do it too. But I like that. I like the crowd there. The crowd's really cool, and I like the copyright stuff is less stringent. Uh, yeah, I know I can make custom emotes. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Um, but yeah, in the meantime, if you all want to start following us there and set up your alerts, I mean, we're gonna come on here and let people know that we're doing the Twitch only show. But definitely, if you haven't followed us on Twitch, even if you haven't even used Twitch, just go to Twitch now and then create an account and find us and sign up. That's the address right there. Now, anyway, this is the shock mount. The shock mount's dope. I like the shock mount. The shock mount is recommended by Leslie Lee, and it's been pretty good. Like basically, when people bump the table, or when you hit or move things, it's supposed to not transmit the noise to the mic. Usually, the mic carries everything. Um, yeah, yeah. So yeah, so I'm tapping. I'm tapping right now on the table, and supposedly the shock mount's supposed to keep any of that from transmitting. Yeah, the stream's late. The stream's late as hell. Focus group, pal. Yeah, yeah. But it's not gonna be a long one. It's gonna be. I just want to talk about Joy Reid real quick. I want to know what's up with. If there's been any fallout. I just want to ask if there's been any fallout to this yet. The Russians have started hacking her brain. They have gone telepathic. She's gotten hacked again. It's not just her blog now, but y'all see this? This is funny. Let me know if the volume's good. Leaders, let's say in the Muslim world, am I not hearing it? And encourage their. Hold on a second. Was there any sound on that for? Oh wait. Hold on. I'm using a new computer, and it's a PC, and somehow I've forgotten how to use. Okay, here we go. Let's try again. Leaders, let's say in the Muslim world, talk a lot of violent talk, and wow, that's a really bad sound. Damn it! Now this computer's frozen. Damn, computer's frozen. I can't see y'all. Let's see. Okay. It's unfrozen, but the screen crashed. Let's see. Whew. Hold on, y'all. Sorry about this. This thing is all frozen to death. Uh, okay, hold on. Just give me a second. This is taking a while to unfreeze. Okay. I guess the same hackers that mess with Joy Reid are now messing with this stream. We can't talk about Joy Reid. I don't know. Okay, there we go. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me at least? Tap something in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me, even if the screen is frozen. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I guess the hackers are not protecting Joy Reid, man. They don't want people to talk about her. Somehow that just froze up. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. Um, nah, Justin F. This is a brand new operating system. You know what I got? This isn't my normal computer. I got this new PC as opposed to my MacBook has like a bunch of like stuff on it, lots of audio visual stuff, all these things. So I thought having one dedicated PC just for streaming, would be good. I thought I'd have nothing on it. It wouldn't freeze or anything, and I guess I was wrong. Even with nothing on this thing is freezing all the time. I thought this thing would just be easy and laid back as hell. Like I was gonna use it for nothing but streaming and some other stuff. It's an Asus Vivo book. I don't know much about PC, so maybe I didn't get the right power on the thing. I don't know, but this thing, like the only thing open on right now is Chrome, and it's got like 10 tabs open, but usually that doesn't on the MacBook. I'll have like 20 tabs open and like 5 programs in the back, and the thing will be fine. But I guess it's a problem with this thing. Yeah, so let me just close out some of these tabs and we'll try again because I think it's all these tabs that are open. I think it does not want to cooperate with these tabs. So bear with us. But these PCs, man, I feel like they get viruses really fast too. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing already has some kind of viruses somehow. Yeah, so the streaming is CPU intensive. Yeah, streaming is intensive, but on the MacBook it handles it pretty good. Um I mean, I guess it's because I'm on Twitter and Twitch, but like I said, I think the MacBook spoiled me because I'll put Discord in the corner, Twitter open, streaming, and YouTube playing a video, and this is some bullshit. This is some bullshit. It's still freezing up. Man, I forgot how annoying PCs are. Like this thing's just slowing down for no reason. I think I might have to call it. I think I might have to call it tonight if I can't get this worked out. I'm still closing out tabs. Let's see if this works. Okay, I'm not frozen anymore, at least. Okay, that's good. Yeah, man. So yeah, this thing has a Ryzen 3 um chip. I don't know if that's good or bad. It's not an Intel. I don't know if that's the problem, but yeah, this thing is a mess. Let's try it again. I've closed just about every window I can. Just switching to another tab freezes me up. This is someone asked what are the specs on the MacBook I'm using. Good question. It's called Asus VivoBook 15, and the chip is Ryzen 3. This is a real pain in the ass. You know, I really didn't realize how good MacBooks were until I tried this thing. Because I have stuff open all the time in the MacBook, like a million things, and it's just fine. Let's see. Okay. How about now? Am I still frozen? Okay, there we go. Yeah, man. Joy Reid is forwarding the stream, man. So when I started, let's give it a test. We're gonna try to put it up one more time and see what happens. Let us see. We're gonna try to put Joy Reid on blast again. Okay. Forget it. Was not meant to be. I'm just gonna call it. I tried. This either it's the PC or it's Joy Reid. One or the other is not working with this thing at all. Someone said Joy Reid dodging a bullet. Yeah, I guess Joy Reid's dodging a bullet. I don't know. Joy Reid is Joy Reid's messing with us. So yo, gonna have to switch up on the fly, man. But yeah, basically Joy Reid, I guess what she was trying to do was take a shot against white supremacists. I'm going to try to paraphrase the thing. Any of y'all see it? But Joy Reid basically had some people on the show. I think at least two of them were Muslim guests, and she was trying to talk to them about something and score some cool points. So she was talking about, I think what she meant to say was a lot of people accuse Muslims of being terrorists and paint them as, you know, people who incite their members to violence. Or I think she's trying to say, like, people take a few radical Muslims and that encourage their followers to incite violence against their enemies or whatever, and they call them terrorists. And don't you think that people should be using that same terminology for white people who incite other white people to do violence and murder against people they don't like? And instead of saying like radical Muslims or a few bad apples or some or anything like that, she just kept saying Muslims. Like, she was like, Muslims always Muslims incite people to violence and stuff. They get called terrorists. Don't you think they should call? And I mean, she just phrased it really, really poorly, really poorly. And if I'm messing it up, please let me know, because I'm trying to paraphrase it. But let me see if I can see it written up anywhere, and I could read it, because whenever I try to play the video, it does not cooperate at all. So I'm going to try to just never using this laptop again. You know the problem with not that I think PCs are bad. Like, there's a lot of good PCs, but I feel like with Apple there's a lot more quality control. So there's not like 50 people making PCs and a whole bunch of different specs. Like, there's a pretty much like minimum amount of speed and quality you're gonna get. But yeah, but with PCs you kind of have to know what you're doing, and I can't. And I guess I did not. Now I can't even type into this. Keyboard's not working on this bitch. All right, wasn't meant to be. So sorry for wasting everybody's time. Did not happen. Joy Reid foiled again. Okay, so we'll try again, like maybe tomorrow night or something. But anyway, I gotta give y'all something. I can't just send you off like that. I don't know why why now the keyboard's not even working. Oh, wait. Does the keyboard work? Okay, now the keyboard's working again. Okay, that's freaking weird. Okay, so maybe Joy Reid felt bad for me. She giving me a break. Let's see. So, oh, okay. Let's try. Cross fingers. Let's try one more time. All right. Y'all ready? Think we got this? The invisible hand of Joy Reid. See, bloatware. I gotta figure out what bloatware is. I gotta figure out what's going on this, because there's no programs on this thing. This thing is pretty empty. It's got nothing on it. It shouldn't be having all these problems, you know? It should be fine. Okay, so let's try right now. Let's see if this works. It's not freezing. Maybe it's Twitter that's messing it up. Let's see.
Them scuffling, shooting paintballs at people, getting in the.
Can y'all hear this okay?
People, is that patriotic activity?
I don't think the president's seen that video, nor have I.
You know, when leaders, let's say in the Muslim world, talk a lot of violent talk and encourage their supporters to be willing to commit violence, including on their own bodies, in order to win against whoever they decide is the enemy. We in the U.S.
Now, I think she probably meant when some leaders, like that word "some," there's a lot of heavy lifting. You know, she should have said, like, you know, some leaders in the Muslim world do this, or some of the more radical leaders in the Muslim world are portrayed as doing this, or stereotyped. You know, she could have done a lot of stuff, but she just kind of said it like, yeah, the stereotype's true, but you know, it's not just them. So that already was not a good start. Now, but see, my thing is, with all the messed up things that she's done to people like Bernie Sanders and other people, that's why I'm fine with her getting bad faith readings of her stuff or whatever, because she would totally do it to somebody else, you know?
Balls at people, getting in the.
So I'm starting over
people.
again.
Is that patriotic activity?
I don't think the president's seen that video, nor have I.
You know, when leaders, let's say in the Muslim world, talk a lot of violent talk and encourage their supporters to be willing to commit violence, including on their own bodies, in order to win against whoever they decide is the enemy. We in the U.S. media describe that as they are radicalizing those people, particularly when they're radicalizing young people. That's how we talk about the way Muslims act.
She said
when
the
you
Muslim,
see what Donald Trump is doing, is that any different?
She said that's the way we talk about how Muslims act. She didn't say, you know, that's how we describe that stereotype or that portrayal of Muslims, or radical Muslims, or some Muslims. She just said how Muslims act. And this lady on the right, I love her face. She's like, The guy second from the right, he's trying a little harder to keep a happy face, but the lady on the right,
is that any different from what we describe as radicalizing people?
I don't believe so. And in fact, at the RNC, we had Mike Pence talk about a protest, the shooting of a court officer in Oakland, and he failed to mention that the actual shooter was a boogaloo, someone who was associated with a far-right extremist group. So again, not only is he radicalizing it, he's taking a page out of Putin's playbook, which is he's taking a kernel of truth and using disinformation to really take the context of that fact away. And that's what we're seeing.
Them scuffling.
Every time I see MSNBC, it just looks so hellishly stupid. Like it's doing so much to stupefy the population. It's so bad. Oh my God. He said Putin. Like, they have to work that into everything. He said this would not have happened if she had the help of a body language expert. Yeah, she had the body language expert to bash Bernie Sanders. She's the worst. And I think this is what happens like when you're fake, because she doesn't have any real wokeness to her at all. Hey, Rye87, how you feeling? Yeah, she has like no real wokeness to her at all. She was I think she was barely even like a lib, and you see that in those blogs she had, and I think she's just such a like bandwagon jumper and like hopper onto grifts. She didn't even so she's just using a language and seeing that she doesn't know the language to, she's not versed in. So she's sloppy, she's pretty sloppy. I think she thought she was doing something really pro-Muslim there. I thought she was thinking, hey, this is a great gotcha. Those things they say about you guys really applies to them, which first off is the most basic ass point. If you've been on social media for like 5 minutes, you've seen the whole we need to call them terrorists thing. And something I don't understand too, even if you get people to call them terrorists, like people online just make the dumbest benchmarks for victory. Like even if instead of talking about how to prosecute them or like introduce new laws or figure out like, okay, how could we make new pressure on people to prosecute? Like if you're a DA and you don't prosecute one of these people, are you up for re-election soon? Who are people doing business with your state? Like no one thinks about practical solutions to anything. And that's kind of what I was talking about the other day in that stream that we did Saturday night, where I was talking about how like no one really talks about practical solutions or steps anymore. People just want to show up for social media and get like retweets and likes, and you're just engaging for the instant reaction. So if you say something that gets instantly a lot of tweets, a lot of likes, or high fives, because it's preaching to the choir, or some sassy GIF agreeing with you, that something that gets you like feedback in the short run, but gets you no engagement or no type of results in the long run. That's what social media incentivizes. And now people do news like social media, So what ends up happening is that's how these people talk. Like that's a very social media thing to say. Like, hey, Trump, why don't you call them terrorists? And then when Trump tweets something, you just keep putting his replies, call them a terrorist. Okay, even if he calls them a terrorist, okay, now what? Will calling them a terrorist magically make the treatment of them go away? Go different. If you agree, start calling them terrorists. Is there some kind of rule somewhere that when somebody's called a terrorist, these sanctions automatically activate, and Trump and the Department of Justice are powerless to protect or ignore them anymore? They're still gonna treat them in the same kid gloves like they've always treated them. Like, I mean, I don't really know what that really is gonna do for justice to get them to call them terrorists. If you make them call them terrorists, then they'll just start calling everyone else who's not them something else that will be the new bad word. It's kind of ridiculous. It wasn't even a good point that she took the L for. Like, like even to give that point its most good faith reading. It's just a dumb point. It's useless. Um, yeah, I don't know what they think is the big victory to get Trump or the RNC to use the word terrorist. It's like the whole thing with Breonna Taylor is another example. Someone was talking about Breonna Taylor the other day, today, and they're just talking about still not arrested. Cop still not arrested for Breonna Taylor. Still not arrested. It's like, okay, how many days in a row are you gonna say that? Like, how many hashtag? Like people doing all these memes and goes, it's day 56. They're still not arrested. It's like, okay, why are you still trying to shame them? Like, they apparently just don't care. I mean, the DA is there marrying his Pinterest girl. Like, his fiance looks like if you were to turn Pinterest into a human form. Like, she just looks like a giant Pinterest post. Like, not even a regular Pinterest post, like a fall Pinterest post. Like, she looks like a Pinterest post from September, when all the pumpkin spice and fall things come out, like no, I didn't see the Brianna Khan poster that's said Taylor. Like, I'm not surprised. So apparently the Brianna Khan, that's all. Yeah, they're doing the whole woman into a meme, and I'm just so sick of hearing like no one's still arrested. Like, okay, this guy feels comfortable enough to go to the RNC and give a big speech. Like right now, that I said DA, but he's not a DA. He's an attorney general, right? That black guy, the one with the pumpkin spice fiance. He he's obviously doesn't care. He's moving up in his mind. Like, that speech to me was the equivalent of Obama's convention speech that put him on the map. Like, he's already in his head moved on to, like, he's going for the governorship or whatever. Yeah, at this point, we should be talking about who does business with that state and what can we stop him from getting. Like, what are his plans? Um, he was just elected in 2019, so he's not up for re-election anytime soon. But if he's going for governorship, what can be done to organize against him? Just find anybody to run against him, get people to donate from all over, like foil this guy's plan. But all they want to do is just tweet at this guy all day long, or just keep shaming him. He doesn't care. There's no consequences to it for him. In his mind, he's feeling like the people that he's getting mad are expendable for whatever reason. He probably thinks they don't vote. He probably thinks there's not enough for them. He probably thinks only Kentucky is against them, and it's the black people at that, so it's fine. Like, instead of tweeting all day, like, we have to figure out what can be done. So I went on the pages that are everywhere. These pages are like Justice for Breonna. So I went on them to see, like, if anybody has done the homework for tangible steps that could be done for Breonna Taylor. So I went to all these pages, and they all had stuff like, write the attorney general, write this person, write this person. These are all the names. These are all the phone numbers. These are all the things where you could write letters. And it's like, that's still kind of begging for help. So it's like, yeah, his wife is Mitch McConnell's granddaughter. Yep. I forget his name. What's his name? Kentucky. Daniel Cameron is his name. He met with the FBI regarding the Breonna Taylor a day ago, and he says he has critical ballistics report about Breonna Taylor's death. And I'm pretty sure critical as in is going to somehow exonerate her to a degree. I mean, exonerate her killers to a degree, because I feel like if he does anything to, I think, hurt those cops, he knows he's ruining his chance for moving up in the Republican Party. So anyway, I'm going to show you his his wife. If y'all haven't seen her, she's Mitch McConnell's granddaughter. That's another thing. Mitch McConnell's granddaughter. I mean, he's marrying into like Republican royalty, and Mitch McConnell is like a scumbag. So he's really has no incentive. First off, he's 35. That's man selling out, man, on black people. That's a beast, man. This dude's way younger than me, man. He's like I'm over 40. He's under 40, man. That dude looks like he's 50, man. What's up with him? I'm telling you, man. Selling out on black people. You ever know some black people sell out? They age faster. Like they just start aging. You're gonna see. You're gonna see Candace Owens pretty soon. She's gonna be looking like Eartha Kitt in 10 years. I guarantee you. Stacey Dash. As soon as she started going right wing, she just turned. Yeah, but they showed pictures of like the engagement party and everything. I mean, the whole thing just looked like a fall Pinterest post. It was terrible, but yeah, he hasn't been doing crap, and I'm like, okay, whatever's happening with this, just stop it. Or if you're gonna do it, just do more. I was disappointed that all these official Breonna Taylor pages just had nothing except tweet this hashtag. That's honest stuff. Tweet this hashtag. There was tweet this hashtag. And write all these people and email all these people and call all these people. And to me, like, I don't think they really care. I you have to have an or else, and I just think no one, either there is no or else to be had, or no one has bothered to think about it. Someone said zero facial hair on the black man. I think I'm clean shaven myself. I don't know. I know what you're saying though. Right now, I'm kind of suspect, but yeah, man. Yeah, I told you, ages you conservatism, but especially black people, because black people usually age pretty good. Like it's extra. Like his aging is like dog year squared. But I mean, I'm not gonna say anything on air or anything, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, maybe the solution is not political. I don't know, but there's got to be some kind of consequence. Like, without a consequence, I don't think anything's gonna happen. And I'm not saying what the extra political consequence should be. I don't know, but I'm just saying, I'm just tired of, like, people are technically right about a lot of the things that they're pointing out, but I'm just sick of just hearing it pointed out over and over again. Like, we need something more than just shaming and tweeting. And I've been trying to look into it. I've been trying to look and read up all about like solutions for Breonna Taylor. So I put like solutions Breonna Taylor, and I looked up all the links. I figured someone else had to think about it, right? After all this time. So I'm like, one of these actors, one of these organizers has to have something. I can't be the first person to think, hey, what are the tangible action steps? So I figured, why start from scratch when someone else probably did the work, So I can just find the work someone else did and then signal boost it. And so far, I haven't had a lot of luck. I'll be honest. I haven't had a lot of luck. It's been a little bit depressing. And I think either because everyone's so busy kind of clout chasing or doing the old ways, because there's an old way of black politics, and it's always like protesting, crying, begging, trying to show our humanity. And or maybe it just is nothing and people feel kind of impotent, but you want to feel like you're doing something. Like, human beings are built in a certain way where you want to feel like you're doing something, even if there's nothing to do. Like, people will create busy work or whatever just to feel like they're accomplishing something, and I hope it's not what we're doing with this Breonna Taylor. I don't know. I mean, no presidential candidate wants to talk about it, saying how one of the big things is to get these things. I mean, has Kamala Harris or anybody tweeted about it or whatever? I don't know. No, I mean, you can find it. Maybe because I'm on Twitter, so I see people tweeting it. Maybe it's my timeline, but yeah, I'm sure. But let's. I want to show something, real quick. And this is what somebody tweeted, and she was totally right. She was totally right, but I'm just like sick of seeing it. So they said they used Breonna Taylor's image to sell Vanity Fair. Now the New York Times produced a Hulu movie about her. America will do anything except punish those cops. Always poised at the door, flowers in hand, waiting with breathless condolences. Reverence is not a substitute for justice. I despise how media invites themselves to revel in Black trauma, tripping over themselves to fawn over victims of police killing, monetizing the deaths, framing them as apolitical, ahistoric tragedies rather than addressing the inherent white supremacist violence of the U.S. state. And everything she's saying is right, but I'm like, how many different times, how many different ways are we going to point this out? Like, how many more ways? Like, I get it. They monetize it and this stuff. Like, I think it's good to point it out to show that it happens and to remind people of what's happening and what needs to be done. But at the same time, the education part is kind of what I get kind of sick of. Like, they do this and they don't do that, and we're tired of this and that. And I'm like, it's good to point it out to show what the newest fucked up thing is. But then I think we have to start thinking about what can be done to punish it. Like, first off, is the New York Times Hulu produced Breonna Taylor movie, is it good or bad? That's my first question. Does it help or does it not help? Forget just that it exists. Maybe they made it and maybe it's really helpful. Maybe it's putting pressure on the right people. Maybe that thing has the plan that I'm complaining I can't find. Maybe it has that plan that says what we can do and what the or else is, who does business with Kentucky that we can put pressure on to boycott. Like, maybe it talks about Daniel Cameron's political aspirations and gives ideas on how to shut them down. Like maybe it does, but okay, let's say it doesn't. How are we going to punish Hulu and New York Times? Should we organize a boycott of Hulu and New York Times? Like, okay, you've pointed out that they do these things. If those things are bad things, that's the first thing. Figure out if it's bad. If it's bad, what is the or else? And one of the problems is I don't think anybody can sit down long enough to make a plan for anything. Everyone has like kind of ADD from the social media. But the other thing is I don't think people can really boycott anymore. I don't think people are built for it. I mean, the Montgomery boycott, that thing lasted a year. Can you picture anybody lasting on a boycott a year today? Like, can you imagine anybody? Like, I see these things on Facebook, and someone's like, "This is gonna be Black Tuesday. Show your power. All Black people, for one day, don't buy anything." And it's like, one fucking day. What does that even do? One day is nothing. One day is nothing. And you know what's gonna happen when anyone boycotts for that one day? Everything they were gonna buy that one day, they're just gonna buy the next day. Yeah, people can't even boycott Amazon for a day. So tell someone, hey, boycott Hulu or Netflix or whatever. And then next time something goes viral on Netflix or Hulu and everyone's tweeting about it, especially if it's one of those representation matter shows, everyone's gonna sign right back up. You know. Yes, the other thing, you didn't have a choice. You would be ostracized if you didn't do the bus boycott. You know. Yeah, but people did it for a year, and everybody helped you. If you didn't have a car, everyone carpooled. People like shared shoes. People were running through multiple pairs of shoes that year because they were doing so much walking, and they did it for like and I don't think people have that discipline anymore. But at the very least, suggest something. Like I just don't want to keep hearing. Oh, they're doing this to us. Here's a Tumblr-esque 50 tweet thread on the history of appropriation of social justice themes, and I'm going to end it with a reading list of books you can read about this stuff. And I'm so tired tweets and all that stuff. I just don't like. We have all these minds talking about all this stuff and reading all this stuff, and everyone's sharing their book clubs, and I'm like, what's the point of reading all this stuff if no one's using this to formulate plans, if no one's using this to formulate anything practical? Today my homegirl got a paperback copy of Decolonize Your Mind through Amazon. Who writes Decolonize Your Mind? I'm so sick of that phrase, decolonize. It's one of those good words that's just been ruined by the wrong people. Yeah, but I just want to see all those one-day boycott things. That thing is just going to be a waste. It's but people aren't even suggesting that anymore. So that's kind of I'm giving an open. Like, I think one of the things we have to do is admit that we don't know, and I don't know. I don't know what the thing to do is. Like, I wish more people would just say, "Hey, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is." But I'm gonna say, if anybody knows someone who's talked about tangible things that can be done against to get justice for Breonna Taylor, like, write champagnesharks@gmail.com. Give me a link to the people who have some kind of tangible plan, and I want to interview them. Or if you yourself have thought about something, like, I'll give an example. When the Ferguson thing happened, a bunch of us were trying to get the mayor of Ferguson recalled. All it took was 2,000 signatures, and this is when I first heard of D. Ray. What's his last name? What's his name? D. Ray McKesson. Right when I saw the way they cut McKesson on Twitter. He wasn't big yet. Me and some other people were telling him, we were sending him these statutes, and we were like, "Yo, there's a statute where all you have to do, you literally just have to sign, get 2,000 signatures, and you can start a recall action against the mayor. 2,000 signatures is really easy to get." And I'm like, you're in the streets every single day. This is very easy for you. Just get the 2,000 signatures. And then he kind of blew us off. And we thought that was weird. And then that girl, Netta, because we bothered her too about it, because we didn't realize how they were yet. We didn't realize they were funny style. We wrote her about it because, I'm in New York. Homegirl that was helping me is in Houston, Texas. And we're not down there, but we figured we can just send directly. We told Ayanna Van Zant too, and she retweeted it and signal boosted it. She was down there for a second, but the Ray blew us up, and Netta started shit talking recalls. She deleted the tweets, but she was like, y'all want to do recalls don't work and stuff. And then I guess someone got in the ear, goes, that's a bad look, delete that. But not only did they blow us off and stop responding, but they actually started shit talking the idea when it was starting to get some traction. Because that's when I realized, wait, these people just want to be down there being seen and making noise and blowing up. That's when I realized. So I realized it was kind of funny style. They were trying to divert attention from, and at times to actively shit talk. Then a competing recall page popped up about recalling the mayor, and this one seemed to be all clicked up with that activist crew down there. And then they started fighting with us about credit, about saying, we're the real recall people. Who are you and whatever. And then started mobilizing people to fight with us. And then we started realizing, okay, these people are spending more time fighting with us about credit than actually doing any recall thing. And then they eventually stopped talking about it. They never did anything with the recall, but they were like, you're not from here. We're from here. We're here. We're on the streets. You guys are like opportunists and stuff. And then they made a competing page and everything to the one that we made. And then basically, like, I think they were just some kind of agent type of thing. They just were there to take the steam out of it because there was like a real solution. But I kind of realized at that point, a lot of people don't really want real solutions. They just want catharsis. They want to go out there and just yell and have catharsis, or be seen, be like visible. This whole I feel seen thing or invisible thing, or this new word I hate, centering, is the new woke talented 10 type of black talk. That's the new black struggle. That's the biggest black problem on earth now, is being seen. You ever see notice everything is like, say her name now, say their name, give them credit, like everything. And I think that's why this Breonna Taylor thing is the way it is. Where people just think the most important thing about Breonna Taylor is that people are saying her name, and wasting all this time arguing with people who are saying male names too much to say Breonna Taylor's name, as if that's going to do anything. I think because they themselves, they want to be famous, they want to be seen, they want clout. So because that's their mind, that's their brain, they're just extending that to social justice too. They think social justice, that's the point. Yeah, I hear you, I see you, you're valid. That's the thing. I even saw this show. Have y'all seen this show, Lovecraft Country? Like, Lovecraft Country is a show. It has so much presentism in it. It's horrible. It's full of presentism. Yeah, representation is more important than tangibles. I mean, the thing has so much Blavity BuzzFeed Black presentism. Like, at one point, a bunch of black ghosts are in a house, and they were killed by like a white racist, and the black ghosts are haunting the house, and the white racist is haunting the house, and the white racist is about to kill the black people in the house. And then the black girl rallies the black ghost to her side to save her from the white racist ghost killer, because the white racist has possessed the black man. So listen to this. The white male racist has possessed the black man and is using the black man's body to kill her, the black woman. And I'm like, this is so Twitter. I feel like what they're trying to say is like, black men, the white people of black people, and black men aspire to patriarchy. I feel the symbolism there was that the white man was using the black man, and the black man had become effectively the white man and was now going to do violence to the black woman. And then how does the black woman how does the black woman save herself? She calls on the ghost, but what does she do? She says their names. So she says the names of all the ghosts, and the kind of implicit message is that the ghosts were haunting the house because they weren't acknowledged. Like, they were victims and no one was saying their names, and no one saw them. It's just, I see you, here are your names. And she's saying their names, and as she say their names, they become tangible, they become seen, and they're able to vanquish the I mean, did anybody see this episode? So let me know if I'm reaching with a tinfoil kufi again. But I mean, this thing was just so social media brained out. It was horrible. And he says the names, and we always say that the only good black men are the dead ones in the social justice world, right? So Salam, tell me if you think I'm reaching, because I'm open to it. Yeah, but they get strength by her calling them out. Yeah, totally, right? Yeah, but I want people who've seen it to tell me, if you think I'm reaching, because I'm kind of biased too, because I've listened to the official podcast of the show, and on the official podcast, the actual writers and people affiliated with the podcast are on it, so I know how bad their Twitter brain is from the podcast. Like, they basically said that they view the show as a success if the critics and Black Twitter likes the show. So yeah, but so the black men that saved the black woman included, like, the dead, by saying the names of the dead black men and women and children, she was able to save herself and vanquish the white ghost. But when she was saying their names, I'm like, oh, like, you saved the day by saying their names. You gave them strength by saying their names. That's so corny. But the thing is full of that. Someone said they had Tamir Rice. It wasn't Tamir Rice. They had Emmett Till, because the whole thing is think piece theater. So it's those really bad comic book shows and stuff that, instead of having real plot and real story and real story elements, they just put Easter eggs together and make Easter eggs. They string Easter eggs together in cliches, to make it seem deep. But the only thing that's really happening is, I recognize that. Like, there's no actual insight. Like, it's like, for example, like Family Guy. Family Guy has a bunch of nostalgic references, and it just strings them together, and that's supposed to be comedy. Like, a lot of places do that with drama too, and being deep. Like, you just string together a bunch of cliches, and supposedly you have something deep. And on the surface, it looks kind of deep, because the cliches that are being drawn from are from kind of deep things. But then when you actually sit back and think about it, you realize, oh wait, that's kind of empty. There's nothing there. And this is what they did, right? I'm going to show you. And this was so corny, right? That Emmett Till, for like no good reason, they just had him there, nothing to say about him, except just to name drop him and show him. Yeah, we're gonna do a podcast review on the show, and we're gonna get Will Menaker and Leslie Lee III to be on it. So definitely check that out. It'll be pretty good, because I want people who are knowledgeable on Lovecraft to talk about the Lovecraft part of it. But look at this. Look at this. So I had the Emmett Till scene in Lovecraft Country, right? And look at it. So he's in the basement, a bunch of black kids saying, "Will I have a good time on my trip?" Right? You see, first off, that kid doesn't even look like Emmett Till. He's like 10 shades darker. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but like, at least have him look like him. Like I don't know why, but it says, "Will I have a good time on my trip?" Right? And then the Ouija board says no. And I'm like, oh my God, really? Like, it didn't. That's all he does. The kids get all scared and stuff, and they run away. And basically, as a predictions, I predicted this is what was funny. The show is basically doing like Easter eggs, but with 20th century black history and stuff. Like, for example, the show also has this. So they just put it there as just an Easter egg for people to say, and then they feel, oh, they didn't say it was Emmett Till, right? But there's a way it's Emmett Till, and I'll show you. So they had this thing in there, right? They're driving around, and then this thing happens. You see, there's no way like the American way. And you see this car and the black people standing? That's based on an old famous photo, which is this one. They remixed it a little because they probably couldn't get rights, made it pay money to get rights to the so they changed it a little bit, and they don't say anything deeper about it. The show is not really about black poverty, what these people are going through. They don't say what they're standing there for. Like, why are they there? Are they like day laborers? Are they migrating north? Like nothing is contextualized. It's just there for you to feel smart and pat yourself on the back when you're done. Yeah, so they turned Emmett Till to a Marvel movie style. Yeah, Curtis Mayfield also used that picture, but he changed the words. Curtis Mayfield changed it to "There's no place like America today," but the original picture is "There's no way like the American way." But still same thing. At the end of the day, they're doing Easter eggs. Everything is an Easter egg, and the show is really propaganda for blurs. It's like escapism for blurs. So there's a lot of like people acting like blurs back then who wouldn't. Like, for example, look at this thing. This guy says this to another girl, to a black woman in the 50s in Southside Chicago. They're reminiscing right when they're kids. It goes, well, considering you're the only member of the Southside Futurist Science Fiction Club, like, get the fuck out of here. No one's talking like that in the 50s. Like, talking about their blurred club and the science fiction futurist. Like, yeah, the whole thing is just references and just trying to like project blurs into the past, and like, can you imagine there were blurs in the 1950s and like, this is like the "We Are Not Our Ancestors" crowd imagining their own ancestors. Here's another one. Like, that's weird references like this. Like, this guy goes into the cabin right after I shot the sheriff, right? And then, in case she didn't get it, she goes, "You shot the sheriff? I had to shoot the sheriff." And to their credit, they didn't also add, "but I didn't shoot a deputy," But it doesn't flow into anything. It's just calls attention to itself in a lot of weird ways, But I never said that. First off, I don't mind using racism. I don't mind using magic or horror or all that stuff as an allegory for racism. That's fine. You can do that. But like, a lot of good movies and shows have used metaphor and allegory to describe like racism and stuff. That's fine. What I didn't like is when you start incorporating real people and real instances into it, because now you've actually trivialized the real stuff, because you've made the real incidents and the real people magical. Like, for example, Watchmen did that. I didn't see Watchmen, but I was told that it had Tulsa Black Wall Street in it. And a lot of people gave it props for raising awareness about Black Wall Street. But I also heard later on that Black Wall Street was not by like regular white racists, but a plot by like some mind control ray or aliens or something. And then once that happened, I'm like, okay, why are you gonna bring up Black Wall Street to work it into like a fantastical plot? Now you've made this real thing into something magical. Kenny said, like, they're gonna have Martin Luther King get taken away by a flying saucer in some episode, like at the rate they're going. Like, it's like, this shit is not magic. This shit is not a joke. It's one thing to, like, you can do that, but keep it all like fictional, like Get Out. Get Out was great, but if Get Out had like real life missing black men like at the party, to say like that's where they really went when they disappeared, and then they had, for example, that boy that died, that was what's his name, the one that was killed by the two lesbian adopted parents. Let me get his name. Oh, Devontae Hart. Like, if they had like Devontae Hart at the party and Get Out or something, and that's where he. I mean, but these technically aren't white people. It's like Well, it's written by a white guy, but I heard the white guy's book is not as far gone as the show, which is show run by like one of those BuzzFeed type black people. I heard she added from people when I was tweeting about it, people were saying that she added a lot of this stuff. But this is what I'm on the show real quick, right? This is how you knew it was Emmett Till. They didn't say his name, ironically enough. We're all talking about saying names. This is how you're supposed to know it's Emmett Till. Because of the tie, as if Emmett Till just had one outfit, you know? So basically, they put the suit. Now, we need some context here. I've seen pictures of Emmett Till in this suit, and when he's in the suit, his mother is next to him, all dressed up. My idea, I could be wrong, but I think they were going to a special occasion, or it was a church day, because back then you said you had to wear your Sunday best, you know? So why is he in a suit in the basement at night playing with a Ouija board? First off, the idea is playing with a Ouija board is weird. I just don't feel like that's the kind of thing a black kid in Southside Chicago in 1950s would do. But these blurs kind of retroactively inject a lot of presentism in there. Like there's this black girl, she's a secret blurred, and she has her own comic book. And the comic book is drawn in the style of like a 2020 comic book. You know, it doesn't look like a comic book from the 1950s. Like the panel layout, the design, like they don't even try to give her any authenticity. So anyway, he's there with the Ouija board, but the kid looks nothing like Emmett Till, and they just put the outfit like a superhero outfit. Like this is what he wore every day, like DeRay's vest. Like his outfit's like DeRay's vest. He wears it at night playing in the basement with a bunch of girls his age and playing a Ouija board. And I find that like kind of really tacky. Well, no, but this is what I think. This is a good question. I'm not saying you have to make everything trauma porn or whatever, but I'm saying if you are gonna discuss traumatic things, don't trivialize them. You know, like either don't do it or do it right. Like they don't have to show the harsh reality of what's going on out there. But the problem is this show wants to be about racism really badly, and it wants to be about historic racism and how entrenched the racism is, you know, but they make the racism like magical and monsters and incorporate real people and real things into it. So then it just kind of makes racism to something that's like metaphysical or whatever. It makes it like it should have a magical thing that's an allegory for racism, and then make clear that the real racism is that's supposed to be a metaphor. But when you incorporate real stuff into the metaphor, all you've done then is just trivialize the real stuff. And that's kind of my problem with all of it. But we're going to talk about it more in depth on the podcast, so I'm not going to talk about everything now. But the reason I even brought this up in the first place was this idea that as long as things are being seen, like somebody did a service by just reminding people of Emmett Till's name, that he was seen, like what are you supposed to do with that, but when you look at the coverage of this thing, right, of the show, people are really like their target audience was loving it. Their target, like, that's the sad thing, it works. Like, you search Emmett Till right now. When I realized the boy was playing Emmett Till, and somebody crying, it beat him until his face was recognizable. Emmett Till. When will the hatred end? And it's like, okay, so how many times are you gonna retell the story? Like, maybe use it to spin up and to talk about reparations. Like stop wanting cookies for retelling the story. Like, what are you demanding? These same people are going to tell you to vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris without asking for anything in return after getting their emotional points for bringing him up again. So yeah, like a bunch of people just kept going crazy that it was Emmett Till in the Ouija board scene from episode 3, Shadow and Act asks, and yeah, did you pick up that this was Emmett Till in the Holy Ghost episode of Lovecraft Country? But mind you, notice it doesn't actually say anything that was done with him in the show because there was nothing to be done. Like, the only thing you're supposed to do was spot him. What are you doing in that spotting? Like nothing. Yeah, super obvious. This is exactly it, Michael. Everything in it was super obvious, and you can actually start predicting what the show's gonna do after a while because it's that obvious. You can just start guessing. It's not hard to predict anything. Like for example, I want to show you something, right? To give an idea. Hold on. Right, but this is how I started watching the show on Sunday. I started watching the show on Sunday. The best definition of a Blavity BuzzFeed Black. It's like pornography. I can't define it, but I know it when I see it. But basically, the easiest way, but you have to know what this is to understand it. But basically, the kind of black person they hire to write a BuzzFeed is basically. I want to just call them Blavity Blacks because I think that makes them too niche, and I feel like a BuzzFeed Black shows how entrenched they are. But when I was watching the show, I was live tweeting it. And I was talking about how bad and obvious, like it's just 20th century black Easter eggs. Like the very first scene, Jackie Robinson shows up to save the black main character from aliens and monsters in his dream. He goes with a baseball bat and starts swinging, and it's like everything is the most lazy, obvious choice. Like, why Jackie Robinson? The only reason Jackie Robinson is the one that saves him is because he's the first black guy to make it into the white leagues and into the major leagues. But a real black dude from the South, Jackie Robinson probably wasn't his favorite Negro League player. Like, he's the favorite black player to Blavity Blacks because he's done what's most important to them, which is integrate. That's the most important thing. He's more important or notable than any other Negro League player because he's the first one to be accepted by white people, and that's their measure for everything. But this thing doesn't do a deep dive into anything. It doesn't try to do anything beyond what white people know about black culture. If it's very, very it's very, very obvious. It doesn't do any deep cuts when it comes to but let me show you something real quick, right? When I was watching the show and I was thinking everything here is like think piece ready. And I said this. I said, I'm guessing Emmett Till is going to be covered on this show at some point. He's a popular think piece topic in recent years. And what made that funny is in about an hour, the show aired, and sure enough, they had him on that episode. Like, they did it even sooner than I thought. Like, it's so like I've predicted like other things are gonna be on it. Like Like I'm sure at some point they're gonna be at a party, and party will. This is the other thing. They don't care if it's age, if it's era appropriate. They'll put stuff from had the Jeffersons playing. The Jeffersons song "Moving On Up" was playing. They had rap music playing. You know, so I'm sure everything is. I'm sure everything is fair game to be on. Um, do you guys know the? Do you guys know the picture Sugar Shack? They had it in Good Times too. It showed up in Good Times at the end of the episode when all the people are dancing. I'm sure that's going to be there. That picture of the black kids in the suits, you know that Chicago picture. Let me see. I'm sure y'all have seen this picture. It's an old picture, and I think it's from Chicago. Yeah. Um, this one. Someone said that they're gonna have this picture, and I agree. Totally going to have it. Have y'all seen this one? And this was Chicago in 1941. On the top right, they're definitely gonna have that at some point. I would be very surprised. Yeah, Sugar Shack was the cover of a Marvin Gaye album. Um, I forget which one. It's not "I Want You," is it? Yeah, Marvin Gaye. "I Want You" had Sugar Shack on it. But I'll show it real quick. Yeah, but this is Sugar Shack. I'm sure that's gonna be recreated at some point. It's just like Easter Egg City. It's terrible, but yeah. They're gonna be black dogs though. That's what it's gonna be. Anyway, whew. I'm yeah, the album's I Want You. That's it. Anyway, I'm done. I'm not staying long. Yeah, that was it. I just want to talk about Joy Reid and this is what I actually want to talk about too. Joe Budden. This is what actually, Kenny. Do you want to come in here for this Joe Budden part? I was gonna turn in, but I kind of want to do this Joe Budden part. I want to see if. Hold on. Let me see if. I see Kenny's in the room. I want to see what he talks about. Yeah, okay. Let me send Kenny a link. Yeah, because talking about how with the Joe Budden thing, I can't figure out. No, not a 4-hour stream tonight. I gotta get up and work tomorrow. But yeah. I was trying to figure out like what Joe Budden's deal with Spotify was, and when I finally found out, it made sense. But he took like 6 hours to get it out because he did a 3-hour stream today about what he was talking about, and he was taking way too long to get to it. And then somebody told me that was actually part 2 of his gripe with Spotify, and it was like a part 1 where he was talking about the stream first. And I was like, that's way. Like I like Joe Budden. He's very charismatic, but he has a really roundabout way. Like he's good at building anticipation for like what he's talking about, and kind of like teasing like oh, I'm about to get into it now, and he goes into it, and it'll be so cryptic and drawn out, like start forgetting what he was supposed to be talking about. Let's see. But anyway, I think I figured it. Oh, there we go. There we go. What's going on, man? I can hear your voice. Sounds like it's going on. I'm not hearing you, but I don't know if it's my Okay, I think I hear you now.
All right, is that better?
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. What's going on, man?
Chilling, man. Sitting here watching Batman.
I'm not hearing you, but I don't know if it's my.
Oh wait, I hear myself now. I'm echoing.
Yeah.
Does everyone else hear the echo?
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, it's playing out loud and not in your ears.
Chilling, man. Sitting here watching Batman.
I'm not hearing
Yeah,
you.
it's playing.
Oh wait, I hear myself now. I'm echoing. Yeah. Everyone else hear the echo? Yeah. Oh, it's playing out loud and not in your ears.
Chilling, man. Sitting here watching Batman.
I'm not hearing you.
You gotta put the earphones in.
I'm echoing. Yeah.
Ah.
Oh, it's playing out loud and not in your ears. No, man, sitting here watching Batman. I'm not hearing you.
Oh man. Oh boy. Well, unfortunately, that didn't work out. Oh, that was funny. Oh wait. Oh wait, he's coming back. He's coming back.
Oh man.
What the fuck was that?
Oh boy. Well,
The earphones are not in. That's why. So it's playing out loud. Are your earphones in?
oh wait. Oh wait. He's coming back. He's coming back.
No, that's why the earphones have to be in. It's playing out in the air.
Was that?
Oh boy. Well, the earphones are not in. That's why. So it's playing out loud. Are your earphones in?
Okay. How about now? Oh, check the cam/mic thing. That could be what it is. It might not be using your earphones as the mic. What are you using as the mic? Let's see what happens. Not working? Okay, all right. Let's see what happens. All right, hold on. Let's see one thing real quick. I'm gonna now what happened with well, I'm gonna find out what happened to Joe Budden because somebody gave me a list of everything that happened with him, and it made sense when I saw it. Oh wait, here we go. Yo, what about the cam/mic button? Does that have anything on the bottom? Does that no? You're not using your regular mic, right? You're using the headset? Let me see something. Hold on. I'm gonna text him something. Yeah, people saying he got Frankie Lyman. This is what I was told happened to somebody typed up a whole summary. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know why Ken's not working. Hold on, let's see what happens. Yeah, I guess it's not. Wait, a new domestic violence allegation? Oh, I don't know. I don't know Joe Budden's podcast was blowing up like that though. That thing was no joke. But people told me this is everything that happened. It's going to be available on all platforms starting September 23rd. I guess it was only available on Spotify, which I didn't like because you can't double speed listen, and like a podcast is 3 hours or 4 hours. I got double speed listen. Um, no more 2-day release on YouTube version. Spotify tried to renegotiate their contract 8 months into the 2-year deal and wanted to put him in a 360 deal, owning all his content. He said no, things went sour. Spotify began to buy other people like Rogan and Bill Simmons. Oh yeah. I heard about that with Tahiri. Yeah, I don't know. He wasn't allowed to take vacation time. When COVID hit and his father had it, he wanted to take a break from the pod for a week. And Bill Simmons called to kind of talk him out of it, I guess, and give him ideas of ways he can do the pod from home. And they bought Rolexes for the crew at some point as a way to apologize. They were offered $125K to run ads on their pods for 6 weeks. They denied it. Spotify doesn't even know where they record the podcast. They assumed it was in Cali when it's actually Queens, New York. Spotify got a cut of the touring, and yeah, interesting stuff. But the thing that was weird, and Kenny pointed out, was that during the podcast, Joe Budden was taking shots at Charlemagne for being an employee, and he's like a owner and stuff like that. Let's see if Kenny's working now. Let's see what happens. Yeah, but he was taking shots at Joe Budden for that. He was taking shots at Charlemagne for that, but that sounds kind of like employee stuff to me. We can't take a week off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really see. I still can't hear you, Kenny. I don't know if you're talking, but I can't hear you. So I didn't really get that part, but the thing I'm worried about with podcasting in general is that it's getting super corporate. It's getting really corporate, and it's gonna go the way of blogs. Like, now a blog is just a blog doesn't have that DIY do it yourself type feel to it anymore. A blog is just like what newspapers have, or like a blog now is Huffington Post. A blog now is Slate. A blog now is like New York Times special blog section. That's what a blog is. Where it's not that scrappy DIY lone voice talking in the wilderness thing. It's been deaded. Like, a blog is just a more informal version of a newspaper, and I got a feeling like podcasts are going to become that. There's too many celebrity podcasts. When you see the podcast rankings now, the top like 20, 30. Yeah, StreamYard was tripping, so it's not going to happen after all. But yeah, the top 20, 30 podcasts now are, in the rankings are all like, celebrities and office podcasts and stuff. Podcasts about hold on. So yeah, Young and May got a podcast, but I mean, she's actually kind of small compared to the other people getting podcasts, like freaking Michelle Obama, like all these big stars. These actors from The Office have a podcast about The Office. Yeah, look one day at the rankings of like the top podcasts in America. Like Young and May is like actually kind of small compared to what the actual official podcast rankings are. Like yeah, there's a lot of podcasts out there that are just celebrity podcasts. It's ridiculous, and if they're not that whereas a celebrity, they're part of a podcast network that's like run by like NPR or owned by Spotify or New York Times podcast or a Slate podcast or something like that. So I feel like everything that is kind of scrappy and is supposed to be democratizing things just ends up being swallowed up by corporations and capitalism and just becomes just another big corporate media thing. So I feel things like that shouldn't even be put in the same networks and rankings as regular people's podcasts. But what can you do? It is what it is. Anyway, I think I'm gonna give up because Ken's not coming in. But if you enjoy what we do, you know what subscribe to patreon.com/champagne sharks and also comment, like, subscribe. That's always appreciated. Go to everyone here should like us, and that helps the algorithm, us get discovered. And also donate too. It's always appreciation when you donate, with the super chat, with the super stickers. If you're enjoying the stream, that's always appreciated. Helps us get nice goodies like the shock mount, the ring light, things like that. We can if you could change the lighting. Everyone loves the ring light. Yeah, so it's always appreciated. Everyone have a good night and check out the show as well, the podcast, patreon.com/champagne sharks, and be good. Take care.